I was still a minor by the time I'm getting a child. So I was a child with a child. And my pregnancy is still crazy. I was still throwing up to the last day of delivery. I have left my grandparents' house. I have even rented my own house. I think I was paying like 500. No, it was 700 because I remember when it came time for being given deposit. I was so happy receiving the 700 back. This place I am staying in, your area, sijui kama bado inaitwa hivyo, but it was called Kiambia. And Kiambia in Kikuyu means for rats. I would go to another person's house and start cleaning their clothes. It's like a job within a job. I decided to get like 1,000 and go buy smokies and sausages. Nikuja niuze. Yo. By the time I'm going back to my grandparents, I had seen what the prodigal son had seen. My name is Carolina, and we are finally on episode 5 of this podcast that started as a dream, but here we are, finally. Woo! Who would have thought? So, today I'm going to ask with a question. I'm going to start with a question. What can you say was the hardest part of your life? Either as a child, as a grown-up, right now, like either a whole section, or just something, a single something that happened to you that you can pinpoint and say, hey, this one, that's one of the worst and most hardest is not. Then the hardest part of my life. I'll go first. Mine is, those, so I've been trauma dumping a lot on these past episodes. Except that one for birthday. That one was a sweet one through and through. But you remember that part where I said I got a child. I got pregnant in 2013, finished Form 4 the same year. And then I stayed out for 2 years. Yeah. 2014, 2015. Those 2 years, I can say those two were like the hardest of the hardest years in my life. I've had crazy things happen to me in my life as a child, as a teenager. But this one, considering I was still a teenager, yeah. Like you're not grown yet and you're expected to do grown-up stuff because you did grown-up stuff that did not turn out very, very, favorable to you. Also now, I've not watched Straw. It's a movie on Netflix and everybody is talking about it. By the time I'm shooting this episode, just know I am caught up in the Straw craze. Everybody's talking about that single mom. Okay, from the sneak preview and the snippets that I have seen. She's having it hard. People are not paying her. She has to pay bills. She has to do this and that. Her child gets taken from her and stuff. Like it's a whole single mom kind of thing in Tyler Perry's style. You know how emotional he gets with his stuff. And also relatable. I can relate to that woman's life point by point, except the fact that she has a bathtub and 2 cars. And then, is it true or what? Like, I'll watch it, I promise, after this. I should have started it with watching it and then talk about it, because from the sneak previews, snippets that I've seen, very relatable to those 2 years of my life. You'll see why by the time we're finishing this episode. So, here goes. The year is 2014. I've just gotten my kid, my daughter. I don't know why I keep saying kid. Kid does not sound, it sounds very general. I've just gotten my daughter. I got her in 2014 April and turned 18 in May. So by the time I'm turning, I was still a minor by the time I'm getting a child. So I was a child with a child. I am 1 month shy of getting to 18, and my pregnancy is still crazy. I was still throwing up to the last day of delivery. Hata nikiwa huko delivery room, it was still very bad. So I don't know what people say about, I can't relate when people are talking about smooth pregnancies, stuff like that. Story for another day also. Lakini hizi story for another day zimekuwa nyingi. I'll come back, I'll revisit, I promise. So anyways, it is 2014. It's May. I have a 1 month old. My delivery was very smooth. Like besides the labor pains and stuff, like after that, I was done with suffering and tribulations, and all I could see when I woke up was a very beautiful baby girl with some chubby cheeks and a head full of hair, and she was just there, very bubbly. Actually, my baby never gave me much trouble, I can say. Okay, colic for the first 2 months, very normal, it happens. But after that, she was just very calm, collected. She knew how much I had suffered. It's like she knew how much I had suffered in the previous 9 months, and she wanted to make this a very smooth journey. Very lovable infant. Now, that's not even the story. The story is how the year that was supposed to be my happiest became one of the hardest. You know, and hard times make strong soldiers, or whatever they say. But was I tested by fire and revelations in that year and the one that followed, because those 2 years, by the time narudi shule, nilikuwa nimeona what Kikuyu say gagabute, you know. I don't know how to translate that one, sorry. So by the time she's 2-3 months, we're just sailing smoothly, very nice. I was exclusively breastfeeding, following the doctor's order to the letter. Now, she hits 5 months. I am not very financially capable, but once again, I am back to my grandparents' house. I think my parents I don't know what they had separated at that time. My mom was living on her own, my father, whatever. Yeah, so, and also now, my mom was still kind of sad that whatever had happened. So the circle of life where I had started, where I was raised, is where I raised my daughter. Under my grandparents' roof, also her, the same. Them being her great-grandparents. Still very loving, very doting, very wonderful and kind to us. Like, I don't know. I don't... If I could explain unconditional love, I would point my grandparents, because those people are always ready to take me in, to accept me, to take me back, to love me unconditionally. I hope you're getting the picture. So anyway, here I am, a granddaughter with a great-granddaughter, but they're still taking care of me, all the bills, everything. And I'm just helping here and there, just the kawaida chores. And my grandma took very good care of me postpartum. I thank God for that woman. Now at this point, my daughter is 5 months old. And I get a job, like 2 towns. Watu wenye wanaishi Kirinyaga, they know. There's this town called Kembembe. So I get a job there, and it was for selling movie CDs and music CDs, music discs. So, hiyo ni ile time ya DVD. I don't know if people still have DVDs in their house. That is in 2014. Yeah, 2014. I am kind of broke. I'm not getting support. I was kind of getting support, but it wasn't enough, because I don't know what you can do with like 2,000 every 2 months or 3,000 every 2 months with a young child who needs hiyo time. Hata sikuwahi tumia diapers with my child, by the way. Maybe tukienda clinic ama tukienda wapi. I was mostly using nappies. I don't know if people are still using them now. It's been quite a while, over a decade. Yeah, so uko ushago it's the norm, so hakuna mtu alikuwa anaona like I'm suffering for not using diapers or whatever. But now that I know what I know, and people started using diapers on their kids kitambo, I think I could have avoided the whole burnt bums and rashes better. Yeah, so when my child is 5 months, I'm called to go and work in that shop. I don't know how I can't remember how I got that connection, but I did, and I was called to work within a week. I went and settled in. Now, here is where the tribulations start. I have a 5-month-old child. I'm supposed to work from 8 a.m. to around 9 p.m. I was working... we were alternating with this other lady, but she was working in a different shop under the same employer. So this employer has 2 shops, and then I'm supposed to manage this one shop, and this other lady is supposed to manage the other one. Now, me with my child, I come in the morning, baby is breastfeeding exclusively. I have left my grandparents' house. I have even rented my own house. I think I was paying like 600 a month. No, it was 700 because I remember when it came time for being given deposit, I was so happy receiving the 700 back. Yeah, because that was the only money I had between me and poverty back at the time. So I'm here, I've gotten the job, I have rented my house, I'm sleeping on a mattress that I got from my grandparents' house. Some utensils. I think I had a jiko and a stove. And it's just, in Mtungi. Now, one thing with Mwea, because that place is in Mwea sub-county or something, I don't know. Mwea constituency, because I'm also part of Mwea constituency. One thing with that place is, at the time, there weren't too many plots with running water in taps. So I would wake up very early in the morning, naacha mtoto akiwa amelala, na ni mtoto wa 5 months, nafunga mlango, take my mtungi, cross the road, go to the other side. There's a stream there. There are so many streams in Mwea because people they plant rice. So I would take my mtungi, get water, and I needed like 2 mtungis to last me for the day because I am washing my daughter's clothes every morning. I am washing the utensils so that I can find them clean in the evening, and so on and so forth. Like, you know how the cleaning thing works. Now I need an extra mtungi after cleaning the baby's clothes and mine, so that I can use that one for home use, just like drinking and cooking and stuff like that. But I couldn't go 2 trips. By the time I'm coming back, my baby is crying. I'm also afraid that somebody might come in the house and grab her. I don't have anybody helping me. I can't afford daycare. Aish, my goodness, what kind of 2 years was that? So it wasn't 2 years, it was like a month, but I didn't stay so long in that place. I'll tell you why. So that was the norm for the 1 month that I was there. I'm not even getting money I'm not being paid daily. I have to wait until the month ends. Now, my baby started reaching a point where, because I'm working so hard and I'm not even cooking food that makes sense, that I can eat, and nikuwe na like breakfast and lunch. Breakfast was just tea. I think black tea and ikiwezekana ugali kama mafuta ya stove imebaki. Oh my God, now that I'm saying this right now, it sounds like like just a story, but it's something that happened. This shadow work thing will make me cry one day. So now that was my norm. Wake up, go get water, cook breakfast. I can't cook for my baby because she's not yet at the eating stage. Ajafikisha 6 months. She's still like 1 month to go. And 1 month and some weeks, because I got the job when she was like 4 months-ish, I guess. Now, here's where the story gets crazy. At one point, because it's a music shop, hizo kuuza CDs and movies na music, I have to stand a lot when I am sorting out the discs for the customer. Sometimes they want the ones that are in the high shelves and stuff like that. So I had to move around. There was no one time that I was sitting down. It was just moving, standing. I sit for a minute, I'm standing again. My baby cannot walk. She cannot even sit down. Hajafikisha hiyo miaka ya kuketi. Yes, she was very healthy, but she was also a big baby, so she's getting hungry very fast. She was crying the whole time. I cannot also afford daycare, so I would leave my baby with a woman selling the next shop. Naenda nauza, and then naenda na breastfeed, hivyo. Eish, what kind of risk was that? Yeah, rinse and repeat the whole time I was there. Now it got to a point where I can't wait for a whole month to end so that I can get paid. So what I started doing is, when it's not too busy, like in the mornings, because there weren't too many people coming to buy stuff, that kind of stuff in the morning, I would go to another person's house and start cleaning their clothes. It's like a job within a job. I'm already working there. I'm supposed to be back within a certain time. But there's a way I was calculating those moves. But then again, this is our employer. She has somebody who is informing her, hey, msichana wako hayuko, ameacha duka for like 2 hours. So I had to be very very clever with the things that I tell her. She would call me like, where have you gone? Namwambia ni mtoto, nimeenda kuchukulia nini kwa nyumba. Sorry, I'm taking too long. Within 45 minutes, 1 hour, I'm done cleaning that person's clothes and house and doing cleaning. General cleaning most of the time. And it was like once a week. Nikipata hiyo 300-400, I have ka shopping for the week. For the week, because now you see I'm the only one who is eating. Mafuta ni ile fulani tulikuwa tunanunua ya block solid mafuta. Unga. Nilikuwa nimebeba unga ya kisiagi from my grandparents' home. Yeah, msichana jo. Kiniona huko nikitembea and doing whatever big girl stuff I'm doing, just know I deserve all that and more. So anyways, I'm sneaking out, going to work in another woman's house, getting the small money to push me for the day, for the whatever. Now my baby, I didn't know she had gotten to a point where I should supplement the maziwa that I'm feeding her. First of all, as you remember, I had a very rough pregnancy. So by the time I'm giving birth to my baby, I was like 48 kgs. And by the time my baby was like 4-5 months, she was almost, I can't remember the kgs, but she was above the kgs that a 4-month old is supposed to have. At one point, the doctor said that. Now, the bigger the baby, the more the needs for feeding and nutrients they have. I didn't know that. My baby would cry so much, but I'm here thinking maybe she's like, maybe Neo too, because I'm not around her a lot. Kumbe, she's not getting enough food. You know, the breast milk is not enough for her. And I don't know that. I think if I was around my grandma, she would have known that by the first month. And I'm not saying that do not, as in umpatia watoto chakula before, just because I did it. I started giving her pudding, which made the situation even worse juu nimemuonjesha food. But I couldn't afford more pudding from then on. So I continued breastfeeding her like I was used to. Just breastfeeding. She's crying the whole day, the whole night. We can't even sleep. This place I am staying in, the 700 house, single room that I am paying at that time, hiyo area, sijui kama bado inaitwa hivyo, but it was called Kiambia. And Kiambia in Kikuyu means for rats. So hey. So the rats were so big. you would wake up to horses, donkeys braying, because Moya is it has so many donkeys, because that's the main means of transport for cereals, for whatever. Most people transport their stuff from point A to point B with their donkeys. So there are so many of those, there are so many rats, there are so many nini. I'm sleeping on the floor. It's raining, sometimes the rain is coming in. I don't know. I think the other time that matches that much hardship is when I was in college the first 2 years. Because that one was also very tough on us, me and my child. Bana, mi na huyu mtoto tumepitia mamambo. So she has started needing more food. She's 5 months, 1 month to go before I start supplementing the exclusive breastfeeding, the breast milk. But I'm not catching on to the fact that she needs more food. Like, I've already introduced her tummy to something more than the breast milk. So I need to keep the routine going because she's already used to it. I am so oblivious of that fact, probably as a first-time mom, a stressed mom. I just keep breastfeeding. I can't afford the 50 bob for, what is it called? For that pudding that I had introduced her to. So I try to breastfeed as much as possible. I'm weak. I keep standing up, and like, my job requires me to stand up. Sina hiyo energy. Sikuli enough nutrients for the food. I don't think I've ever told anybody this part of my story. But a podcast can make you bold. Please don't use this against me. So anyways, something happened and this mama decided, I think she was told I am skipping work too much. Within 3 weeks of staying there, she called me and decided, I think that was a lie. That must have been a lie, because there's no way you can decide to close shop that has been so good. It has been making profit since the time I came there. Na unaniambia ati we have decided to move this shop to our big one, to combine them. I don't know. Yeah, I sense foul play now that I'm rewinding to that time. So within 3 weeks, I don't have a job. Aki nimekonda, because now the whole kuendea maji, kukuja kufanya hizo duties kwa nyumba yangu, kushinda nimesimama, kufulia watu nguo, while I still need to go back to that shop and work. I think aliambiwa hizo mambo, and then she decided, I can't stay with such an employee. But me, I was just trying to look out for myself. Kinda, which is bad. Not encouraging that. If you're employed, stay to your one employer. Probably if you have a side hustle for after work. Yeah. The other time that kinda comes close to that hard time. Oh no, so back to that before I get to this point. So I pack up. It's been 3 weeks. Mi naenda, I went and asked for my deposit back. The agent was kind enough to give it to me. But now, before I went back home, I've just been working for 3 weeks. I tried something else. Maybe now I could give up. We don't relate to that. Women in my lineage do not relate to giving up. I can tell you that for a fact. So job imeisha huku kwa shop ya kuuza ma CDs za music na movies. There's a reason why I keep repeating the music na movies. Some of you have very bad mindsets. And I'm supposed to go back home, but I decided we left home to change home. So we're not going back home, blah, 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 and all that shenanigan. I decided to get like 1,000 from the small child support I was getting and go buy smokies and sausages. Nikuja niuze. Yo. Kushaanzia biashara ikakuwa ndio supper na ndio lunch, because there are so many, they've not been bought. It's not working. I did that for 4 days. and decided, no, this I have to go back like the prodigal son and tell them, I'm sorry, just take me as I am. I'll be doing whatever. 4 days of tamarking, I would go to the next town, because I'm living in Kembebe. It's like 20 bob away from the town, Moya town now, where I was getting the supplies for the raw sausages and smokies. I walk a certain distance uko, because you know, people who sell wholesale shops, sometimes they don't tend to be uku mbele kwa town. They are interior in a way. So because I wanted to buy at wholesale price, I would go to the ukondani and walk a whole distance, because I can't even afford to take a boda at that point. And then I would go take them, go back to my place. Hata hiyo fare ya 20 bob kwenda na kurudi, so it would be 40. Unaifanyia hesabu, unaona hapana, hapo sasa hizo ni sausage. Hiyo ni sausage moja when you sell it. At that time sausages were costing like 20 bob or 25. No, 20. It was 20. I think I would buy at 15. I don't know, I can't remember the math, but the profit wasn't even worth all that tamarking. And even after tamarking all that, you'll come and tamark in the evening. I was leaving my baby with the neighbors. Tamark for like 2-3 hours. And then go back to the house with having sold like 4 sausages or 5. Because people can't eat sausages. It's a small town. So unazunguka mwisho na mwisho, ushauzia hawa, wengine wanasema hawataki. There's only too many sausages you can sell to people in a small town. And obviously kama alinunua jana, they might not buy again today. That's a luxury. These people, they're just earning as little as you are. So you don't expect them to take 30 bob out of their very tight mathematics, their very tight finances, and buy sausages from you today, tomorrow, the whole week. But that's a whole profit for a whole day that could have done something else. So anyways, I just sat down one day and decided this can't be it. This can't be the life that I have enye nimejiandikia, hiyo kizungu haikuji. This can't be the life that I've been condemned to live. As much as, and anyway, it's not like I am that old. I'm only 18, and 18-year-olds, they are former children, probably still growing up. But the things being a mother will make you do, a present mother, crazy. So I remember at one time, before going back home, there's this guy, Kamagera, kujaza mat. We were just talking. I would sell him some sausages. Tu alikuwa anabuy, not because he likes them, because anihurumia tu. Sometimes he would buy and tell me, madam, kula tu hiyo. He pays me and still says, just eat that one. So at one point, we're just talking, and he's talking about taking me to his mother. I don't know what. Me with all this my English, I'm there listening to him. And now, desperate. I knew I was desperate when I started considering his ideas. I'm there thinking, ama niende tu tukaishi na huyu jamaa kwake, like, I don't know what changed my mind from that, but I had reached that point. Naenda kuuza sausages when a certain school has games, and when kids are playing, high schoolers especially, they are prone to eating snacks and stuff. They would come and buy ice creams and buy stuff. Sausage zako zitanunuliwa kama 2 ama 3. I don't know. I think it's because you remember those hot dish? I think they're still there. I would stack mine there. And then somebody comes with a whole cart with that jiko compartment there. So his were very hot and very clean. You can see them. Me here with my hot dish, just standing and asking, sausage. Takula sausage. He let me laugh because I couldn't at that time. Yeah, by the time I'm going back to my grandparents, had seen what the prodigal son had seen. I went back. My grandma sees me at the gate. She's cramped. Aye. I've never been hugged that tightly. Like, she even asked why I didn't go back earlier. I didn't even tell her the story of what happened. So she catches on with my crying child throughout. I'm breastfeeding. I tell my grandma, I don't know what's wrong. Hata nikimnyonyesha, she won't stop crying. And she said, sirinyenye tu mnashinda mkisema huku sijui daktari. For some reason, she fed her in secret. I don't know. I think she gave her some really finely sieved uji and started feeding her. At this point, she's already... Okay, after a few weeks, that is. She's already like 2 weeks to 6 months. Yeah. My grandma starts giving her some porridge, kidogo, ashaingia kwa ugali with soup and greens. And that's how we started giving my daughter solids. It was out of desperate times called for desperate measures. And I stayed home for a while. I don't think I ever got another job from that. I think that experience traumatized me so much. I just decided to stay home, help with the farm work, help with wherever I could. Until now, it was time to go back to school. Yeah. By the time my parents are telling me tunataka kurudisha shule, I could have volunteered even if they didn't say it. At that time, I had seen it all. 18-year-old is still a child. Because now I have stayed with my younger siblings and I have seen them hitting 18, each one of them. And I would look at them and see how very young and kind of fragile they are at 18. And I would wonder, hey, is this how I used to look? Is this how tiny and small and just clueless I was when I was going through all that? That's me, And also sometimes now, I try to, now when that issue of age, when I'm thinking about things that happened to me, and I see how tiny my daughter looks at 11 and how tiny she was looking at 10, at 9, at 8, I normally wonder, is this how young and small and fragile I used to look when I was going through all that stuff in my childhood, Yeah, that's the trauma dump episode for today. Let me know in the comments what is the harshest and hardest thing that you've had to endure in this life. Whether you're just you, single and childless, or you're just a single mom, or you're a parent in a 2-parent household. Any part of your life, Yeah, let's trauma bond on this one. And that's the end of episode 5. I've been your host, Caromina. Thanks for tuning in to this point. Till next time. Bye.